Hey, what's up? It's Daniel Merritt with Alt 92.3. What's your name, man? Who are you?
My name's Chris. I play in a band called The Head and the Heart.
Okay.
We are currently on hiatus, as is everyone else. I play bass. I got a couple of them ready to go.
Nice.
This is a bass lesson, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let me go grab it's in the shop, actually.
Oh, yeah. Grab a guitar, man. It's the same thing.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't prepared. So I'm talking to the most important person in the band, dude, because everyone knows the rhythm section is what holds the band together.
It's true, man. We luckily we have a great drummer too, Tyler. That makes everyone's life a little easier because you got a solid drummer, and you're right. Yeah, rhythm section can really make a lot of the other parts of writing a lot easier.
Man, I got some questions, so if you feel fit to answer them,
I can definitely speak for everybody. So
yeah. So, have you been with the band since the beginning, or what?
Yeah, like 10-ish years ago. I was the last one to join. The songwriters kind of started, and Kenny, the piano player, they kind of started playing together at open mics and stuff. And then Tyler moved out to Seattle and joined, and then they were kind of looking for someone to play bass, and I'd never played bass, but I thought I could do it.
What did you play?
I played like, guitar, piano, just kind of like a little bit everything. And they'd come into the open mic at the bar I was working at. So I had met them, and we were, familiar, and I was familiar with the songs. And once they were like kind of getting a little more serious about putting a band together, I was like, all right, I can help out.
Oh yeah.
Hey, sorry.
What's going on, man? Stop apologizing. Hey. You guys are fine.
Yeah, I was on a completely different Zoom link that was from our band and management
so you were
call yesterday.
You were on a random video call?
Yeah, like 4 different times I kept clicking out and logging in the same one. I was like, what is happening?
Dude, technology, man. It's unfortunate that during these times we rely on it so much.
You'd think I'd have it pretty dialed by now, man. I've been doing it since March. But
what's your name, and what do you play in the band?
Yeah, so I'm John Russell. Sing, write songs, play guitar, a little piano.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Chris here was just telling me the origin story of the band. You guys met up during a bunch of karaoke nights or open mic nights?
Yeah, open mic nights, yeah. Not so much karaoke, although...
There probably was some karaoke somewhere.
Yeah, there's a thin line sometimes. That's fair. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, did he get to the place where he was like the bartender? He was bartending there. Yeah, I mean, it sounds made up, but...
What do you need? I'll do it.
Yeah.
So Living Mirage, that's been doing pretty amazing. Got any thoughts on that? Was it a surprising sort of situation or what?
I don't know. Yeah, it's been... We put out some songs kind of early and had a good, reception with them. But now there's this song, Honeybee, that like a year later is like doing all this stuff in the world. And it's like, it's so funny. You never know really like what song is going to connect with people or connect with radio.
Right. I mean, that's the one of the main requests we get is either Misconnection or Honeybee. And actually, we do this thing called Playlist Radio, where we have the listeners, it's a contest, and if they win, they can control a full hour of what we do at Alt 92.3. And Honeybee is almost always on everyone's playlist.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I was actually just listening into I think your show. Did it just end at 3?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I hopped in like right when DJ Shadow and Run the Jewels was on. Listened in for a little while.
Nice.
Good set, man. Good set.
Oh, thanks, man. I love what we play. Actually, so back to Honeybee, an avid Alt 92.3 listener, Trey Acosta. He's one of the main ones that always requests you guys. So he wants to know, what's the inspiration behind Honeybee?
Yeah. I guess mostly I was kind of hanging out with a friend, and she was like just coming back from visiting her grandparents, and her grandfather was like literally on his dying bed. And I guess he was kind of a pain in the ass through his life, and then at the very end, just sort of, I don't know, started coming.
Sweetened up a bit.
Yeah, just sweetened up and like
About that
talking
also.
about his regrets and talking about the things that he loved, and yeah, so just trying to put somewhat of a silver lining on that situation, you know, and just like, don't wait until you're on your deathbed to say the things you need to say to people you need to say them to. I can't say that I take that advice every day of my life, you know. There's definitely, you know, still some things that are always unresolved, but
Actually, my 7-year-old, man, he goes around the house, and the only lyrics he knows is, "You're the one, you're the only one." That's all he sings. I'm like, Noah,
awesome.
learn more.
Yeah, and kids are like the ultimate barometer of like what's.
You're so right.
Yeah,
You're
like,
so
Oh man,
we're working on new stuff right now, and Chris sends me like videos of his kids just running around. I'm like, cool, check, that one's working.
yeah. I got a 3-year-old who's learning the drums and super into listening, but still just like their reactions are very telling. And like I'll put on a song and the brutal honesty is actually
They're brutal.
refreshing. It's brutal. It's like put on a song, it's like, Dad, turn that off. Like
That's
I don't want to
amazing.
hear it.
Right.
They put on a song that like is working, it's jamming, he'll start dancing around, and it's like, okay, check. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Cool.
That's
Stop
on the
there.
album.
You just released the Living Mirage, the complete collection, right? So how does that go? It's got 4 extra songs. So on the original album, do you record 15 knowing you're going to put out another album throwing in 4 more songs, or how's that work? Walk me through that process.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. I don't know if that's ever. I think more like when you record more songs than you're gonna put on the album. It's more like, you know, you record 15, 20, and then you pick the ones that like make a statement, you know, that make a cohesive unit. And sometimes really great songs might not make it on a record because it just doesn't fit the right thing that you're trying to do. And then usually it's on the back end, you're like, oh man, we have these. It usually like happens like 6 months or a year later, and you like pull up a file and you're like, that was a pretty good song. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of just forget about it almost, and then you're like, listen to it with some fresh ears, and you're like, it'd be great to, you know, have these see the light of day, and then you start talking and start bouncing ideas, and then you have a re-release with new songs, and it's a fun process, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, some of my favorite songs are those songs. Like Glory of Music, for instance, is like on the original one, it's the last track, I think, yeah, last track. And it's just acoustic, it's just me and an acoustic guitar. But it actually, it started out as the full band version, which we just released on the complete recordings. And it's just one of those funny things where you're like, why did I don't know if we thought it was too close to something, and we were like, let's strip it back. But that's one of my favorites. And then, yeah, One Big Mystery. But yeah, it's funny. I mean, I don't think that we necessarily like had the foresight of thinking that we would, I don't know, just a year later put them all together.
Talking about not really playing music and being all spread out right now, but what do you miss most about touring and about being on the road?
I think it's just like places, really. I mean, well, twofold. I do miss, like, I feel like New Orleans was like, not just saying this, but it was one of the first places I thought of like when the quarantine was hitting, and I was like, man, I miss traveling. Like, and it's like unique places that you remember, you know. It's not necessarily like Chicago, which is a great city, or like LA even, but it's like the Tulsas and the New Orleans and like the Burlingtons. I feel like the more like off the beaten path a little bit, even though New Orleans is obviously a very, you know.
You'd be surprised on how many tours skip right over us though, man.
Yeah, or it's just like it's not necessarily the obvious like place. I guess it is like, you know, Mardi Gras or whatever, but like
Right.
other than like that sort of scene, yeah, travel, just being in a new city every day or every other day is like, I never thought I'd miss it.
Yeah, you had the perfect response initially. You were like, I just miss places.
Yeah.
We all do. What about you, John?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, we started traveling so much where all we wanted to do was stay home and slow down. And, you know, now it's like, you start seeing how much of your life is like, like curated to the idea that you're only going to be here for a few weeks at home. And then everything is changing. Just seeing fresh faces and eating different food. And we got a little one. Yeah, and I mean, I don't feel like we ever took fans for granted necessarily at all, but I've had like time to like think in retrospect as to just how wild it is, how many fans this music has created, and how many people we've played for and met. And it's the first time in maybe the whole band's career, I think, that I've personally had this much time to just sit and think about all the amazing things we've done and all the great people we've met. Yeah, because when you're kind of doing that every single night, 6 nights a week,
right.
Again, I don't feel like we take it for granted, but it just becomes part of the day. And now it's like, yeah, if I really cannot wait to get back out there.
What do you not miss most about the road?
How much time you got? I mean,
sleeping in a coffin.
Wait, what?
Bus life. Yeah.
But like living on a bus.
Oh,
it's like,
okay. Yeah.
It's so funny when like you have friends come out to shows or family, they're always like, oh dude, gotta see the bus. Like, let me on the bus. And you show them the bus and it just like smells bad. It's full of shoes and like garbage. But somehow that's like the thing that everyone's just like, oh, the glamorous life of, you know, being
so right.
And then they realized there was like 13 of us on there, and they're like, all right, we're good. We'll see you next time, buddy. We're going to go to my house, and, you know. Yeah.
So you walk on the bus, you're like, this is not what I expected at all.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes I actually want to see people's buses. Like,
yeah,
I've seen a million of them. I've lived in them, but it's like, how do you guys live?
Right.
How do you guys survive?
A bus? What? All right, so Chris, let's you guys got any not horror stories from the road, but one situation that sticks out where you're like, man, we're lucky to make it out of that, or what?
Actually, not really anything that terrible.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I know. I biffed it one time. We had just played a show in, I think, Toronto, somewhere in Canada. And it was Halloween night, so I did like Day of the Dead face paint.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I look like a zombie a little bit. It's smeared by this point. It's 4 a.m. We're having like a dance party flying down the highway. And the bus swerved, and I was like dancing on top of what the couch would be. And I go flying, and the kitchen in there has like, you know, it's like just a little small square area, but it's like legit tile. And I remember just like seeing stars and like just heard like a terrible crack. Oh. And like I don't know if I got a concussion. I don't remember much, but we went to Boston. We were going to Boston, and like I couldn't even get off the bus for the border patrol. They literally just came on. I was just like blood all over me. There's this like white paint on my face. I looked insane. Right into 2 nights in Boston. The first show I do not remember. And then the second night, I was fine by then, but.
You were definitely concussed.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember anything for a while from like that 24-hour period. Wow. But
so you played a show and you don't remember.
You know, that honestly happens sometimes anyways, but when we were on tour with the Walkmen, like way back in the day, we were opening for them. I think we were going through Texas and our van broke down. We had to rent a U-Haul, and it was like half the band was in the back of a completely pitch black U-Haul. What? Yeah, going down the highway was terrible. And I randomly had like I think somewhere on the road, I bought this little like Play School plastic record player. And I remember just spinning records in the dark in the back of a U-Haul going down the highway. I was just like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done.
I know you guys have done a ton of Zoom calls. I know you probably answered this question at least 26 times. And I know you might hate this question by now, but have you been making any music? Can we expect anything to come out of this quarantine? Or I don't even know if it's a quarantine anymore. I don't know what's going on.
1, 2.
Come on. I'll get my guitar right now. Let's go.
Yeah, right? Let's do it. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we have been. We had these, regular plans of traveling and going into a studio and getting everybody in there and working with producer or multiple on different songs. And then everything changed. And so we just went to the label and said, whatever money you were going to spend on that, why don't you just divvy that up to the band and let us all buy gear? So we've been basically remotely tracking with a producer. It's been a different producer every song or every 2 songs.
Oh, wow.
It's been really interesting in many ways. One, because we're changing up the producer per song or every other song. And the other one is everyone just works so differently, especially with this remote system.
Right.
So organizational tasks are completely different every time. It's a lot of 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or 3 steps back sometimes. But it's working, loosely. Definitely happy with where it's going. It's just so funny. I think we thought this was going to take a month, and it's been several, and we're halfway done. So
cool. So got any amount of songs you're looking for this next one is it going to be coronavirus themed or what?
Yeah,
I think we're working, the songs we're working on right now, there's a batch that were kind of started and mostly written pre-pandemic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are actually really poignant to the pandemic. It's kind of funny how that works out.
Wow.
But then there'll be another batch coming up that will, write and arrange completely remotely. So that'll be a whole new experience. So see how that goes.
I'm excited. I'm sure you guys can't wait for another song to take off a year after the album's out, huh? Like Honeybee.
Yeah, what a gift that song is to us.
I love how you guys have awesome instruments in the background. It's honestly, after talking about the fact that you're cooking up some stuff and seeing the instruments that you're cooking the stuff on, I'm getting excited, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, me too.
You guys continue to take care. Stay safe. Hopefully your families are not impacted by COVID-19. With this last couple, we got about 2 minutes left. Do you have anything maybe to some aspiring musicians or musicians who may be in the same boat as you guys? You got any words of advice or encouragement? We'll start with you, John.
God, I'm weird again. I don't know. Everything I'm thinking of is some stupid cliche. I don't know. Just enjoy this time while we have it, make the best of this moment, which on one hand is terrifying. And on the other hand, it's a glimpse into something that once things start up again, it's going to be hard to get back to this much time at home with friends and family. So that's not really band related, but that's where I'm at.
Make the best of it. I agree, because like you said, you spend so much time on the road thinking about being at home, and now you're at home thinking about being on the road.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
One thing I've been trying to put into recording and working on music is just trying not to be so precious about things.
Good word.
If you have something to say it. If the recording's bad, whatever, share it. You gotta just keep moving. Don't don't spend too much time on the devil's in the details, but at the same time, just not overthinking and I don't know, just trying to appreciate the weird things you come up with, and doesn't have to be beaten to death, or I don't know, just
yeah. Put it out.
Put it out.
The smallest little detail, the smallest little thing can make the biggest impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, this has been a pleasure. A definite highlight of my day, for sure.
Right on, man. Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of local musician interviews as well, so I love that I've got my hands in all the.
What? I don't want to. If you need to go, that's fine. I was just curious. What is the local scene there like right now? What kind of? You got any names that we can check out, or?
Man, actually,
on down there.
If we're gonna go that route, my favorite local band that I feel like is right around the same ballpark would be Them Old Ghosts. 3 words, them, and then OL. just like as New Orleans as it can be. Them old ghosts.
Yeah.
Cool.
And check out the music video for Hold On. It's actually filmed in my buddy TJ's backyard. He lives in a town called Lafitte. Them Old Ghosts is amazing. And another band just put out an album called Pale Shelter. That's my buddy Rome's band. It's hard to explain. If you are a fan of Deftones, they've got some Deftones vibes big time. And John, you'll appreciate his vocals are as unique as they can, as I've found locally at least. But as far as what everyone's doing, nothing, not much. You know, we try to do a live stream, but I think Facebook's about to start throttling that. So it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, honestly.
Yeah. Thanks, Daniel.
Keep in touch somehow. If you guys ever come to New Orleans, you want some seafood or you want to just anything, you hit us up and we'll take you around on the city. All right.
Amazing. Yeah. Appreciate it so much. Take care and thanks for your time. And